So hello everybody, today we're going to play Ottoman Sunset, a game by Victory Point Games. I've never played this game before. I've played Zulus on the Ramparts and I've played Israeli Independence, both of which are so-called States of Siege games, so this is the same type of game, so the system is the same, and when you look at the map and when you compare it to the other maps in the system, you can see the similarities. There is one area in the middle which is Constantinople, and this is the area that all of the other tracks move towards, so all of the armies that have already been placed, the Caucasus front, the Mesopotamian front and the Sinai front have already been placed, so there are already armies in place, will start moving towards this point here in the center, Constantinople, and as soon as one of them gets there, the game ends immediately. This game is a lot more complex than Zulus on the Ramparts and much more complex than the Israeli Independence game, and it's also, as I learned, and I didn't know that before, it can be played together with its sister game to make a bigger campaign. The sister game is called Habsburg Eclipse. I don't own that game, but I already see myself buying it. So, today I'm also going to use two cameras for filming. One is set up here, one is set up there, so I will see if that makes any difference and if I can make a better video out of this. Now the setup has happened. At the moment the board is pretty empty. You have three different armies, and you have the national will marker, which is basically the Turkish national will. You have three decks of cards. The first one is the blue deck of cards, which is the morning. So I'm just going to shuffle this and we're going to take it away. I don't know how long this is going to take. If Zulus on the Ramparts is any indication, where I usually lose on the fifth turn, this should be playing quite quickly. So I put my deck here and I'm going to take the first card, and it reads event. Place the intelligence bureau of the east marker in the turkey box on its display. So the intelligence marker, I saw it, here we go. On the turkey. Yeah, so we put it in here. So basically this is the intelligence bureau for the east track, and we place this marker there. The next is that there will be an advance in Mesopotamia, so the Mesopotamian army will move one space. Now I have an action that I can take, and I can tell how many actions I have by looking at the card. So basically here it says one action which I can take, and I've got different things that I can do. I can launch an offensive, which means I can try and attack the attacking armies, and I can try and push them back, but I can never push them back further than the last, the highest number on the track, so 5 or 6. You can never push them off the map. You can never, if you like, destroy them, annihilate them. You can allocate resources, you can redeploy the intelligence bureau, you can place Turkish defenses, and then you have the national will phase. So I've never played this before, so I will be using the rules, and I will refer to them as I go along. So I've activated the fronts. I can now action phase. Okay, player actions. Each event card, blah blah blah. Okay, what I am going to do is I am going to fortify the narrow. So the Dardanelles, as you can see, this is Mr. Churchill. He's trying to attack Constantinople by moving through the Dardanelles, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one action to place a minefield or a gun emplacement. So I'm going to opt for a minefield, and I'm going to take this minefield and I'm going to put it here. So this is actually a little bit sad that these stand up, because it would be much nicer if they were lying down, because you can never really see what's on them when you're playing because you're looking down on them. Okay, so this is me done. I don't have any more action. So now the national will phase happens, and the national will phase is that I need to add the number of markers in the victories box. There are none, blah blah blah. So basically now I need to roll. Oh no, actually I don't have to do anything because there are no victories, defeats or stalemates, so it doesn't move at all. So next card is revealed. Event. If it is on the map, replace the Caucasus front with its Grand Duke Nicholas unit showing the same flag as it currently shows. If it is on the map, replace the Caucasus front with its Grand Duke Nicholas unit. Grand Duke Nicholas, show yourself. Okay, so Grand Duke Nicholas replaces Dashkov. Done. Mesopotamia advances. Gallipoli advances. There is nobody in Gallipoli, and Salonika advances, but there's nobody there either. So okay, we will not do anything now because these two can't advance because they're not in play. So what I'm going to do is now I have 3 actions. I'm going to put in a minefield, another minefield here. I'm also going to redeploy this intelligence bureau for the east marker and put it into Persia, because if there is a coup and this is in there, I can try and help with the coup, and I get a +1 in the roll. And now I have a third action. I'm going to try and attack on the Mesopotamian front. So I'm going to roll. I have a 1, which is not no match for the 3 battle value level here, so nothing happens. They stay where they are. National will phase, again, no changes there, so I'm going to turn this over. The next event is conduct this Western theater battle, second Ypres. So this is interesting. So second Ypres is the Western front. We're going to put this in here. So now let's see what happens. To resolve an off-map battle, roll a die and modify the result as follows. Okay, so Ypres has a value of 4. I don't have any resources in that theatre because I didn't put any there. Note to self, you might want to reconsider that. And now I need to roll because there's no war weariness in effect, so I'm just going to roll a die. And it's a 5, which means that I roll higher than the second Ypres 4. So this is a victory. So I take this chit and I put it under victories, which is great. Now we have an advance. Caucasus advances 1 and Sinai advances 1. Now Sinai is important when it comes to advances because there is a special rule. Where was it? It's got something to do with the fact that there was no potable water in the Sinai Peninsula until the pipeline was built, and the pipeline has not been built yet. So, here. Advance in the Sinai. Due to the lack of potable water, any Sinai unit advance into boxes 5 or 4. You can see this is really nicely also portrayed. Once you've played it once, you don't even have to refer to the rulebook anymore because all of this information is also on the map. You see those 3 blue lines which signify water. basically into boxes 5 and 4 prior to the construction of the cyanide pipeline is contingent on a successful attrition roll. When an advance is indicated into space 5 from space 6 or into space 4 from space 5, roll an unmodified die. I roll a 5. If the result is less than the battle value of the cyanide unit, it advances normally. If the result is equal to or greater than the battle value of the cyanide unit, it remains in place and does not advance. So basically this is good because Murray's cyanide value is 3. I roll a 5, so he stays put, which is good. He's not advancing. So now I have one action, and I will take this one action and try and repel Townsend again. And I roll a 1, so again, nada. Next up, there's a retreat in the Sinai, which isn't happening because they're already in the 5th space. Mesopotamia advances. Oh my god, I really have to do something about them. And Gallipoli would advance if there were troops there, but there aren't. 2 actions. So I'm now really going to have to try and get rid of Townsend because he's only 2 spaces away. 4. That's 1 retreat. Oh, yeah, I forgot the national will thing in the previous one. So basically, national will. Add the number of markers in this victory box. From that value, subtract blah blah blah. At that moment, ignore blah. Place the national will marker. Okay, so it's at 1 because we have 1 victory. Okay, now I'm going to roll again. And I roll a 5, so Townsend is pushed back even further, so that's good. So now we're going to do the national will marker check again. It's still in the 1 area, and that's fine. So next one up. As you can see, this actually plays really quickly, even if you don't know the rules so well. Retreat in the Caucasus 1 and in Salonika 1, but there is nobody in Salonika, so that doesn't happen. Advance, Arab League, the Arab front doesn't advance because there's nobody there. And Sinai, so we'll try this again. Sinai needs to roll 3 or less. It rolls a 3, so it means... oh, if the result is equal to or greater than the battle value of the Sinai unit, it remains in place. Okay, so again, this one doesn't move. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my actions to put a resource into the Western Theatre and 1 resource into the Naval Theatre. And this is the end of this turn. There is no change to the national will track. We turn over the next card. No events this turn. Advances in the Caucasus, in the Sinai. Again, I need to roll for that. Oh, he's really unlucky, that Murray guy. 5, so he's staying put. And no advance in the Arab area because there is nobody in the Arab theatre. I have 2 actions, which I'm going to use to put in... I'm going to put in an additional cannon here at Nagara to fortify the Narrows more. This one would go into Dardanos and this one would go into Yildiz, wouldn't it? Okay. So, yeah. I've got 2 actions. So I'm also going to put resources in the Eastern Theatre. And that's me done. With national will check, no difference. Next up, shuffle the midday cards into the deck. So basically this is now the first event which will bring in the additional cards from the midday deck. The midday deck is the one with the yellow side, sorry, over here. So I'm going to take this deck, I'm going to shuffle it once. Oh yeah, there's a cat trying to get in, but I can't let him in because he's going to just walk all over this. I'm going to... Okay, I'm going to... Yeah, this is going to be interesting because he's got a camera now and he's got a game set up. I don't know how he managed to open the door because usually he can't, but we'll see what happens there. Okay, so now I'm going to... Yeah, he's off camera, but pretty soon he will walk into it. Yeah, the shaking that you can see now is him walking in, and that would be him. So, no. Geh mal weg. Thank God for editing. Okay, so basically, I've now shuffled the midday cards into the deck. Well, there wasn't that much going on anymore anyway. I think I had 3 or 4 cards left. So now I've got a new deck, and now I have the advances in the Caucasus to deal with, in Mesopotamia again, and in the Sinai. Let's roll and see how Sinai is doing. 5 again. Okay, this is strange. This always rolls a 5. So Murray is staying put. I have 3 actions, and I get a +1 to all offensive. So now I'm going to work on the Caucasus front, and I roll a 6 +1 over a 2. 1 action. 4 +1 is 5. 2 actions. And I am going to put 1 more resource into the Western Front. National Will stays where it is at 1. Okay, next one. No events this turn. Advances in Mesopotamia. And Sinai again. Oh, and Sinai finally advances on a 2. Okay, I have 1 action. I'm going to try and repel Mr. Townsend over there. And I roll a 5. That worked very well. So he's pushed back. No changes to the National Will. Next card. There's a coup in India. Okay, now the problem is I have the Intelligence Bureau for the East, not in India unfortunately, but they're in Persia, so I don't get any additional help with this. So basically, let's see how the coup works. Okay, so basically what we do is we just roll a die, and we roll a 4. The coup is a level 5, so seeing as we can't have any positive die roll for this, we actually don't get anything, so the coup fails. The coup marker is then removed from play. Oh, okay, I get it. You put them actually in there first. And then, yeah, okay, so they should have been in there in the beginning. So basically, I'm here. The coup mark in India, the coup has happened and nothing has happened for us. Good. Okay, so the coup has been resolved. Advances in the Arab area where there is no one, Gallipoli where there's nobody, and Caucasus again. I have 2 actions, so I'm going to try and repel Mr. Townsend again. The roll of 2, that wasn't very successful, and a roll of 1, again, nothing. Next up, event. Place the U-boats marker in the Narrows area. If forcing the Narrows has not yet occurred, that event does not take place. Okay, so basically, U-boats. Okay. So this is the marker, which means that the U-boats, the German U-boats actually guard the Dardanelles. So the British attack through the Dardanelles on Constantinople can now not take place, which is very good. So the fact that I've placed all of these here has been for nothing. So I've actually wasted all of my actions that I spent on this, but you know, you never know. So that's very good for me. The Caucasus advances 1, and the Sinai advances again, so we'll have to see if they manage to do so. Where's my die? I roll a 5, which is more than Murray, so Murray stays put. I have 2 actions that I will take now, and I will move. I will actually not move this one. It'll stay there. I'm going to put a resource in the
eastern front, and I'm going to attack the Caucasus again. On a 3, I push him back 1. Good. Next one. You may immediately forfeit this card's 2 actions to place the fortification Gaza Beersheba line marker in the 4th space of the Sinai front track if that space is Turkish controlled. Okay, now here is the Gaza Beersheba mark, this area here. It is Turkish, the control works as follows. So we can now try the following. We can forfeit 2 actions and block this area here. And this is what we're actually going to be doing. I'm going to place this marker here. So if they want to advance, so if we're now moving in here, we have to again make a roll, an attrition roll, so it has to be 3 or it has to be less than 3. Okay, so that's good. Mesopotamia advances and Salonika advances. That's me done. No change to the national will. Now we're going to conduct a naval theater battle. It's going to be Jutland 5. So this is going to happen here. And I need to roll against the 5. I roll a 3. I have 1 resource there which gives me a 4, but that is still less than the battle value. So it's a defeat. It goes into the defeat box. This resource is removed. And now it's important because first we do the advances. Gallipoli, nothing happens. Mesopotamia advances 1. Salonika advances 1. I'm going to try and so that didn't work, and again that didn't work. So this guy is just 1 space away from Constantinople. If this one advances once more, I lose the game. Now I need to check the national will. I have victories 1, defeats 1, so 1 minus 1 is 0, so I must push back the Turkish national will track to 0. Next one up. Okay, you may immediately place 1 minefield marker for free if available. That's not going to happen now because obviously first of all I've placed them all, but also the straits are closed. The Caucasus moves 1 and the Arabs move 1, but they don't. Now I'm going to have 2 actions. And I get a +1 to all offensives against Mesopotamia. And I'm going to use those because he's just 1 space away. So that's 6 + 1 is 7. And 2 + 1 is 3. I think on a 3 he stays put, right? Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the rule 8.7 German staff operations. The player can gain one additional reserve action by permanently removing from play one resources marker from an off-map theater box. I'm going to remove one from the eastern front. I'm going to put it here. And I'm going to roll again. And I roll a 2. Okay, that was a waste of... Okay, nothing happens. Will stays the same. Event. Place the Faisal Hussein Arab unit on the 6th space of its track, if not yet in play. Faisal Hussein goes here. Mesopotamia advances, as does Sinai, so we'll have to see first of all potable water. Yes. And no. Because the second attrition roll failed because he didn't make it across the fortifications. So okay, so 2 actions. Again, I'm going to attack Townsend. For a 3, gives me nothing. And for a 6, push him back. Very good. Will stays the same. If it is not on the map, flip the Gallipoli unit to its Gallipoli. If it is on the map, flip the Gallipoli unit to its Gallipoli post-Savla side. It's not on the map, nothing's going to happen. Caucasus advances 1. Sinai tries to advance again. Potable water, no. Nothing happens. 2 actions. Again, I'm going to attack. This time I'm going to attack both the Caucasus. On a 3, push back, and Townsend. On a 6, push back 1. Very good. Next one. No event this turn. Caucasus advances 1. No offensives versus Caucasus this turn. Brilliant. Great. But I get 2 actions. So I'm going to place... No, I'm going to actually try and push Townsend back twice. Yes, once. Successful. And I'm also going to push him back a second time. Yes, 5. Very good. He's gone. Okay, I'm going to take the Asia core marker. +1 DRM, all offenses, 1 front, 1 turn. So I can take this one and discard it at any time. And I get a +1 DRM on all offensives against a single front for 1 turn. Okay, Mesopotamia advances 1. I get 3 actions. I'm going to attack up here, 5, back, again, 5, back, and once more against Townsend. On a 1, nothing happens. Okay, national rule stays the same. I get 3 Yildirim markers. They look like this. And I put them in their holding box. And I can use them to negate 1 advance either in the Sinai or in the Mesopotamian area, which is good because this guy Townsend is really getting on my nerves. Okay, so Caucasus moves 1. I have 1 action. I'm going to spend it to try and fend off the Caucasus guy, and it is not successful. National will, nothing happens. Conduct this Eastern Theatre battle. Italy joins. That's a level 3 against a +1 that I have there, so I have to roll a 3 or higher. And I roll a 5. Okay, I get this one. I win. Haha. So, the Arabs move 1. Salonika moves 1. I have 2 actions, which I'm going to spend putting resources into the Western Theatre. 1, 2, 3. And push back the Caucasus front successfully. Okay, national will goes up to 1. Conduct this Eastern Theatre battle. Görlitz Tarno. Okay, a 1, so I need to roll a 3. I have no resources here. That would help me. I roll a 1, nothing happens. It's a lose situation. Caucasus advances. Sinai tries to advance. No. So he stays put. I get 3 actions. 6 pushes back the Sinai. 1 doesn't push it back. 5 pushes back the Mesopotamian front. National will is at 0. Next one. Caucasus advances 1. Mesopotamia advances 1. Sorry. Coup in Afghanistan, where I don't have my thing, so again I have to roll a 5. 6, that's good. The coup was successful actually. So I get it as a victory. So basically I've advanced the Caucasus. I will advance Mesopotamia now, and I will try to advance the Sinai. It is successful. So it passes the potable water attrition roll. Now we have to see, can we actually move in here with the fortifications? Yes, we can. So it's now weakened. So he now has to pass a 3rd attrition roll. And that's a 1, so he still stays put. National will advances to 1. Flip the Mesopotamia unit to its moored side and place it in Basra, space 5. Okay, this guy is now getting stronger. Receive the Siege of Kut victory marker. No, I can't find it, so I'll have to see what happens here. So I'll just keep it for now and see what will happen with this victory of Kut. Maybe that's just when we do the victory points in the end. Okay, the Siege of Kut victory. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it here to the right. Okay, Caucasus advances 1, and Salonika advances 1. I get 1 action, which I'm going to use to repel the Caucasus advance, and I am unsuccessful. National will is at 1, stays at 1. If the Caucasus unit is on the map, retreat it 1 space. If it is not, turned to cars. Either way, flip it to its reduced side. Okay, it is already reduced. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back 1. Advance Gallipoli, Salonika, Sinai. Let's see. Sinai does not advance. 2 actions. Okay, I'm going to attack the Caucasus. 6. Very good. And I'm going to also invest some more resources in the Eastern Theatre. National will stays the same. No event this turn. Caucasus advances 1. Sinai tries to advance, and it manages to pass the attrition test for the water, but it doesn't manage the other one, so it stays where it is. Oh, and I've got two actions that I have to use on offensives against the Caucasus, which I will do. Okay, push back 1 on a 4, and push back 1 more on a roll of 5. Very good. The national rule stays the same. Resolve the forcing the Narrows campaign. This is not going to happen because the straits are closed, so that's good. The Arabs advance 1 and the Caucasus advances 1. I'm going to roll. I've got 2 actions. I'm going to try and repel the Arabs, and I am successful on a roll of 6. And I'm going to put 1 more resource in the Eastern Theatre. Coup in Persia. Yay! And I'm actually there. So it's a 5. And I roll a 4, plus 2 is a 6, so this coup is successful, so I get this as a victory area. It stays in Persia. And the Caucasus advances 1, and the Gallipoli forces advance 1, but they don't exist yet. So 2 actions. I'm going to try and repel the Caucasus front on a 6. That worked nicely, and on a 3 that worked nicely as well. So next one. No events this turn. Sinai advances and Gallipoli, but they're not there, and Salonika is also not there, so nothing happens. Sinai tries to advance. It passes the attrition roll for the water. It doesn't pass the second roll for entering the fortification, so it doesn't really do anything. I have 3 actions. Okay, I'm going to attack the Arabs. On a 2, that's nothing. Again, 5, push back, and I'm going to attack Murray in the Sinai, and on a 2, nothing happens. Shuffle the Dusk cards into the deck. Place the Faisal Hussein Arab unit on the 6th base of its track, if not yet in play. Place the Pipeline Complete marker in its Sinai holding box. Okay, so now this pipeline is complete, which means that this whole roll for attrition for potable water is no longer necessary. So now I'm going to take the Dusk cards, which we can tell are Dusk cards because of the grey strip on the right. Salonika and Gallipoli would advance. They don't because they're not on the map. So now I have 1 action which I'm going to spend to try and send Murray back to the Suez. And I'm unsuccessful on a roll of 1. Okay. So, I've shuffled the deck. Now the Ottoman Sunset is actually beginning. The Dusk cards are in play, and I draw the first one. Flip the Sinai unit to its Allenby side, which is a 4. This is a stronger side now, okay? We don't like that. The Arabs advance 1, and the Caucasus advances 1. I'm going to try and push Allenby back. On a roll of 2, that didn't work, but I've got a second roll. On a roll of 5, that did work. Okay, so next one. And the national will is actually at 2 now. Brilliant. Sorry, forgot about that. Place the Kaiserschlacht marker on the map. Conduct this phase each turn from now on. The Kaiserschlacht marker. Okay. Now we have to find the Kaiserschlacht marker. Kaiserschlacht. And put it here. So the Kaiserschlacht is a different phase which will come after I've taken my action. So first of all, we have the army. Oh, and this 3 marker. This one here. I don't know where the Kaiserschlacht goes. Does it have a particular place where we put it? Also, I'm going to just put it here. Caucasus advances 1. Mesopotamia advances 1. I have 4 actions, and I get a +1 to all offensives, including Kaiserschlacht. So now, maybe this is a good time to actually explain what the Kaiserschlacht is. The 1918 Kaiserschlacht offensive, Kaiser's Battle, was the last major effort of the Central Powers to win the war. Realizing that war weariness had set in and that fresh American forces were arriving en masse, General Ludendorff committed his final reserves and infiltration forces from the Eastern Front. While the campaign was initially successful, by July it petered out. So we have to, I now have to consult the. Okay, now I have 4 actions. Let's see, Kaiserschlacht. After the Kaiserschlacht has commenced, each turn during the Kaiserschlacht phase, conduct an off-map battle on the Western Front. Aha! So this is where this goes. Okay. Against the lowest numbered unfought Kaiserschlacht battle marker. They are numbered 1 to 6. So the lowest one would be 1. Okay, you can see this. This is actually the 1 on this die symbol here. Okay, so we put it here. Use all applicable modifiers for resources markers committed to the Western Front, and war weariness has set in. So I need this relevant one. This is the one, war weariness. Put it here. Okay. Okay, so I get a +1 to all offensives, including the Kaiserschlacht. The Kaiserschlacht has level 3. It comes up to level 4 because of the war weariness. I get a +1, which means I need to roll a 4. And if I spend 1 resource, I need to roll a 3. I spend 2 resources, so I need to roll a 2. And I roll a 2. Well done. Okay, I get this marker as a victory marker. Then I'm going to, I have 4 actions. I'm going to attack Mesopotamia. On a 4, nothing happens. Oh, it's a 5 actually, a +1, so this one is done. So I have 2 more actions. I'm going to attack the Arabs, push back, and I'm going to attack the guy in the Caucasus, and I push him back as well. Okay, next up. No event, Mesopotamia advances, and Salonika would advance. I have 2 actions, and I get a +1 to all offensives on Sinai or Arab. Oh, I think, first of all, the national will goes up to 3. I think I actually have to, I spent an action on the Kaiserschlacht, which I wouldn't have had to because the Kaiserschlacht is a separate thing, so I could have rolled 1 more die. It's fine, I'll just skip that one. So, okay, 2 actions. I'm going to attack the Caucasus front. On a roll of 3, I push him back, and I'm going to attack the Mesopotamian front. On a roll of 1, nothing happens. Kaiserschlacht. I take the second one. Level 3. That's 4, 3. So I have to roll a 4 or higher. Then I roll a 1. So this one is lost. So national will goes down to 2. And I spent this resource. Okay. Okay. Next event. Caucasus. Oops, there are no events. Caucasus advances. So does Gallipoli and Salonika. Nothing happens there. -1 to all offensives against Salonika. Well, that doesn't really concern me that much. I have 3 actions. I'm going to attack the Mesopotamian front. On a 5, I push him back. I'm going to attack the Caucasus front. On a 6, I push him back. And now I have to check, once I've spent a resource, do I... Okay. Okay, I need 2 actions to actually place a resource. I did that wrong. What happens when I actually use a resource? Do I get it back to spend again later? Oh, actually they stay there. Okay. Okay, so I shouldn't have removed them when I was using them. Okay, that's fine. So that's something for the next time. Okay. So 3 actions, I've spent them all. Kaiserschlacht. Number 3. I need to roll a 5 or higher. I roll a 2. It's lost. Next one. Remove the Caucasus unit from the map and set it aside. It may enter play later. Replay. Okay. Going to set it aside. Sinai advances, and so do the Arabs. No attrition roll now for entering El Arish, because obviously the pipeline has been built, so that's now a big difference. I have 2 actions. I'm going to attack the Arabs. On a 6, I push them back. I'm going to attack Alan Bean Sinai. And on a 6, I push him back. Very good. Kaiserschlacht. 4. It's a 5. And I roll a 5. I lose. Conduct this Eastern Theater battle Vittoria Veneto. It's a 4. I have 2 there. So I have to roll a 3 or higher, and I roll a 3. This is a win. Okay. Okay, the national will needs to be adjusted. I forgot that. Arabs advance. I have 3 actions. I'm going to attack the Arabs, push them back, and that's all I can do because I don't have anything else I can do. Yeah, okay. So now I am calculating the national will. That is 6 minus 5. No, sorry, I have to do the Kaiserschlacht. Okay, you see, you really have to be on the ball to play this game. No. Okay, 5. That's going to be tough. Yeah, and I roll a 2, so that's a loss. So it's now 6 against 6. So the national will is at 0. Now this is a problem because if it gets to minus 3, I lose the game. Okay, next one. Conduct this Eastern Theater battle, Hoffman offensive. 2. I have 2 resources. 3, 5. Oh, and I think the war weariness probably kicks in as well, so it's a 4, but it's still a win. Okay. Arabs advance, Sinai advances. I get 3 actions, +1 to all offensives in the Caucasus. I attack the Arabs on a 6, and I attack Allenby on a 4. That's nothing. And I try again. 4, nothing. Kaiserschlacht. Last one. 6. Okay, I can only lose this because I would have to roll an 8. So yeah, I lose this. So that's 7 -7, that's 0. Remove the Gallipoli unit if in play. If it is in play, flip the Salonika unit to its Desperate side. No. Mesopotamia advances 1 space and Sinai advances 1. Well, they have to do 1 attrition roll. And they fail. And they pass. Okay. I'm now going to attack Mesopotamia. Sinai. On a roll of 5, I push him back. And I try again. On a roll of 2, nothing happens. Now the Kaiserschlacht is repeated. Now this is interesting. Okay. After fighting all 6 battles and placing them in the various outcome boxes, then during this phase, first roll a die to determine which Kaiserschlacht battle marker is refought. I rolled a 1. So it's this one. Okay, so I need to beat this. It's got a level 3, which on a war weariness is a 4. I roll a 4. That's a stalemate. Actually, that's good because then it goes in here. But it also means that now the number of victories that I have under my belt as compared to the losses means I'm at -1, so it's not so good. So the national will decreases to -1. Okay, not seeing that going too well. Okay, place the war weariness marker in its box on the map. Yeah. Oh, I thought it. Okay, that's my mistake. I thought when you do the Kaiserschlacht, it happens automatically. Okay, so there wouldn't have been a war weariness one. Okay, so now I realize this is a separate event. Advance. Roll a die. I roll a die, and on a 5, advance Gallipoli and Salonika. There are no forces there. Yay! No actions allowed. I don't care. The national will stays at 6 -7. No events this turn. The Arabs advance, Mesopotamia advances, and Sinai tries to advance. Okay, I'm actually going to use my Yildirim and prevent them from advancing. +1 to all offenses. I'm going to attack Allenby. On a 6, +1, he is pushed back, and I'm going to attack Maud in the Mesopotamian front. On a 4, +1, pushed back. Kaiserschlacht. The 1 is refought. Five, 4, that's a win. Excellent. National will goes up to 0. Okay. Conduct this Eastern Theater battle. Brusilov offensive. It's a 3, 4, 2. I need to roll a 3 or higher. And I roll a 2, of course. National will goes to -1. Okay, Salonika advance, there's nothing happening. I'm going to attack the guy in the Mesopotamian front, push him back. And the national will goes to Kaiserschlacht. Okay, this is getting tiresome.